is out of scope. So you don't, please note, no smartphone on this slide. So this is the overview of the position we're in, very consistent with the strategy. Voice and music, clear number one, as I said, 70% market share, 30% growth. Infotainment, we think we have about a number two position, that market growth with 10. Indoors location is nascent, but potentially huge growth opportunity. Imaging, number one, not that exciting from a growth perspective, so we have some work to do there. And then Bluetooth Smart, so the low energy version of Bluetooth, number one / number two position, but with enormous growth opportunities as well. Some results, so what has happened, we've been on this bandwagon now for a number of years. You can see on this slide, on the top is the margin we get in our ongoing core business, where we have these platforms, and you can see those margins are between 55 and 60%, where our component business in handsets, that we are actually not investing in and winding down, has a 35% gross margin. So as the component business goes down and the platform business grows, the company gross margin goes up, and that drives the profitability. This is the core business. As you can tell here, in Q4 11 it was about $500 million. We've managed to grow this high margin platform business by Q1 of this year to around just under 700, and our intention is to keep that growing, and our share price actually follows that trend because it is such a big driver of profitability. And with that, Luigi, I don't know if I was within the 20 minutes. Close enough, I think. I'm ready to take your questions. Yes, please.
Very nice presentation.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ganesh Devraj. I'm from Soliton Technologies. You mentioned that imaging was not so exciting in terms of growth. Could you share some more thoughts on that?
Yeah, sure. So for us specifically, traditionally we were very strong in digital still cameras, point and shoot, particularly on the low end, because on the high end it's the Canons and the Nikons who do it in-house. And that market is being cannibalized at the moment by smartphones. Now the opportunity, because that is digital still point and shoot lower end, that is not a growth market, actually it's shrinking quite rapidly. The opportunity, however, is on the video side, which is a very similar, we have a lot of IP there as well, but traditionally our roadmap was pointing at digital still cameras. So the opportunities in video, things like action cameras, security cameras, there's a lot of opportunity in automotive, drive recorders, I don't know if they're already popular in India. They should be, I think, looking at the traffic here. But they are definitely on the way up in China and also in the United States for insurance purposes. So that's where we have an opportunity. So on the imaging side, back to the strategy, it ticks the leadership box, it ticks the platform box, it doesn't tick the growth box, but we think we have a path to get there. And that's why we invest in it.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Sandeep from Broadcom.
Hi, Sandeep.
In the automotive industry, do you see the smartphone kind of eating into that market share? Because I can envisage that it is likely to become just a simple display unit and everything gets, transmitted from your smartphone.
It's a very interesting point you're making, and it's a big live debate. Now, my personal answer is that yes, some of the functionality that you have on your smartphone will be borrowed or utilized or leveraged into the infotainment. But at the same time, many of the functions that you have in your car cannot be dependent on sort of a device that you might leave at home. So for instance, it's great to use you can use your smartphone with all these capabilities for hands-free calling. But at the same time, if somebody else brings a different phone that isn't as smart, or you're forgetting it and you want to still make that phone call using but many of these cars have their own SIM now. So you need redundancy. So, and that's why my our view of the world is that the smartphone and the car is actually starting to behave much more and more like a smartphone. It's got Bluetooth, it's got Wi-Fi, it's got GPS, it's got processing power, it can render images, you can put the maps on there. At the end of the day, if you have a GPS system in your car, you will want a head unit with a screen and a map, even if you can click your smartphone in something adjacent as well, because for the simple fact that you cannot depend on the thing. It might break down, you might forget it, what have you. So I think it is a matter of optimizing the two platforms so that the car and the smartphone seamlessly interact. And I think we had a demo there showcasing some of that functionality before we started this.
So you talked about M&A and part of your basically semiconductor thing. So in the context of the CSR, how basically your merger with Zoran changed the texture of the company?
Yeah, so if you look at the CSR story, as I mentioned, I joined about 5 years ago, and when I joined, CSR was an extraordinarily successful Bluetooth company, but Bluetooth only. So we set out on this journey to diversify both the technology but also the markets we were in. We were selling 70-80% of our chips in handsets, and actually at the time Nokia was very, very important, and it was within that it was Nokia. So we were looking for companies to add to our technology with, but also to the different segments. The first one was Surf, where it gave us location. And then the second one was Zoran. Now Zoran basically brought two things to the table. One is imaging and video technology, which is highly relevant not just for cameras and printers, but also, for instance, for automotive infotainment. If you want to render your map or you want to stream video to the kids in the back seat, all that stuff. So for our automotive platform, very important. The other thing, which is far less known, is that the Zoran, the company, which was, as you know them well, I'm sure, been around for a long time, has a very competent and well-respected SoC integration center in Haifa. And my position was at the time to my board when we talked about this acquisition that if you want to be a platform company, you better know how to actually integrate IP on a platform. And that's one of the skills that these guys have. So that is, and then of course it took us in other areas like cameras and printers.